Alright, so the first thing you want to do is to make sure that you load the game. Now, for you to download this game, remember the assets are just down below. There's a link that has the actual assets. So once you load that link, you should be able to be led into this window here. Now, this window is actually created by the DEFCON 32. So unit CTF guide, it's going to guide you through on how to get started. You can see the game zipped there and have it downloaded on your machine. Then here we've got other programs such as Chat Engine and as well as DPN Spy. Now DPN Spy is going to be used for level likely 4, but for level 1 to 3 we can still utilize Cheat Engine, and this is what we're going to get started with. So once you download these assets, then you can get right into it. Now the first thing you want to do here is to load your assets. So you can create a folder. For me, I have this what is known as the game hacking file. So when you download the asset, all you can do is extract them and actually rename your file to anything. I have named it as GG. You can name it as anything. Then you want to load your game by just placing here. So we're gonna cancel this just to demonstrate how that is when you're loading the game for the first time. So we're just gonna reload this. So you can see it made with Unity. So once it's loaded, you can see the DEFCON 32. And I want to say thanks to DEFCON 32. DEFCON is so brilliant, guys. You need to be watching their videos. You need to be watching how they do everything on DEFCON. And we're going to get right into it, because a lot of things that have been created in terms of the hacking space, most of them are due to such events that have been organized. And as BIZTEC, we have tried to organize such events as Hacker 123, and we're going to be having some of these events advertised, or I would say posted in the group, and you'll be able to actually join some of the CTF events that we'll be having. So for those of you that haven't actually looked at our events, those will be shared in the group. So let's get started with it. The first thing we want to do is just to click start. And this will drop us right into the game. Now we can see up there we're being given the moves, WASD, space, and all that. So this is just the basic movements of the game. So just moving around the game, just trying to look at the vicinity. This is dangerous to go alone if you can anyway. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, I think I can see a gun here. As we demonstrated during the Zambian game developers, is to try to make sure that you grab this gun, which is our first mission here. Now you need to understand this, that this game is actually created purposefully to actually allow you to learn the game hacking skills. So the whole purpose of this is to have challenges that can challenge you as a game hacker or as a developer or as a gamer to be able to actually develop your skills. So as we were hitting the gun trying to grab it, we had to run out of health, and now we need to figure out a way to actually grab this gun without running out of health, and that's where game hacking begins. So we're going to start reload it, and the first thing what we want to do here is to see how best we can increase our health, because that's the only way we can get this gun here, because the moment we hit it we are running out of health, and before we know it, we can't get this gun. So the first thing we want to do is to figure out how do we change this variable, right? Because if you have done software engineering or development, you know everything that has got a number that is dynamic is obviously a variable. Now a variable can be a static variable or it can be a dynamic variable. In this case, since it continues changing, which simply means it's actually a dynamic variable. So how do we do this? Now that's where Cheat Engine comes in. I'm not going to run through the installation, but for those of you that I'm not going to run through the installation, but for those of you that have managed to actually download it, you can just load it through and have it displayed, and this is the first thing you see. And for those of you having issues to actually install Cheat Engine, all you have to do is to make sure you disable your antivirus. Go to antivirus section, and you should be able to see this option when you go to manage settings, and make sure you enable all these, and make sure you disable all these, and as well as the temper protection. So this is very important to disable for it to be able to install. Now when you're done with that, you can come back and do the installation. Once it runs, you can load your chat engine. You can load your cheat engine. I don't know why I keep calling it chat engine. Is it because of ChatGPT? Anyways, so you're going to be loading your cheat engine, and the first thing you want to do is to make sure you go on select process. So when you select process, it's going to give you a list of processes that are running on your computer. So you can see all of them here. These are the processes that are running. I'm running OBS to record this video. I'm running Chrome, as well as these other stuffs here. Now the thing that you want to be able to grab the process from is actually the game itself. Now surprisingly, I can't see it here. Okay, here we go. So game hacking GG. So we want to grab, we want to process this application for us to be able to hack it. So it's going to give you a list of processes. You need to select which one is the game you're playing. And I feel this is more important in a software engineering aspect. You definitely understand that for it to be able to grab, for it to be able to change variables or to do any hacking, it has to know which type of program is it going to be working with. So in this case, we have selected that, and it's now loaded as game hacking, as you can see on top here. Now the first thing we want to do is to be able to grab this variable. Now in this case, this variable is 50 and it's dynamic. So all you have to do is to go and type here 50. Once that is selected, we're going to go on the second option called scan types. So on scan types, we're just going to select exact types, or you can select these other values depending on what you're doing. But in this case, we're going to go with exact type. And then on value type, we're just going to say all. And then on memory scan options, all we want to do here, we're just going to do all memory scans. All right, and then we can see the start and the stop there. All right, and make sure you have this ticked. So you can have this ticked because we want writable files, right? Writable variable, and the executable is this value that we're looking for executable, and it's not. So we're gonna disable it. How do you disable it? Just making sure that it has this box here. So once it has the gray box, then it is disabled. And we're going to do our first scanning for the value of 50. Now, when we do our first scan, we're going to be seeing a lot of values. And right now, we're at 9,165. And we need to narrow down to only this one value. The question is, how do we do that? Now, the first thing that I always recommend is to make sure you lock the screen. You can do actually lock it. Hopefully I haven't forgotten. It should be Control-Shift-T to be able to lock it. I don't know if it has locked or not. But anyways, for us to be able to track this value, we have to change it and come back and scan it again. So what we can do here, so we can see the window didn't lock. But anyways, when we hit here, the value has changed to 40. So when the value changes to 40, all we want to do is to go back to our cheat engine and actually change our value here from 50 to 40 as well, so that we show that there's a change in value and this is a dynamic value. So once we put 40, we go to next scan. So it simply means the value changed. And as we can see, this was very quick from just 9,165 possibilities. We were given one that we were looking for. So we can see there was one that changed from 50 to 40, and I assume this is the one. So we can click on it, and then second thing that you want to do is to drop down here for you to be able to change the value. Now you can do this in two ways. You can either drag it, or you can just place this arrow here, which is I prefer to do that. So you can give it a description here. Once you give it a description of what value you think it is, there, in this case, we're going to type health, and then we're going to click OK. And then the second thing that we want to do is actually change this value. Now we're going to change it to 3,000, which can be too much. Even 1,000 should be okay to actually get the gun. So we're going to change it to 1,000 and click OK. So as you can see, the value immediately changed there, which shows that we've managed to cheat our way into the game in terms of health. So now we can come back here and hit this and continue hitting it until we get the first flag. So this is a CTF, guys. You are actually playing a CTF challenge right now. Imagine as if you're at DEFCON 32, which is amazing. So here we're gonna be able to do that just by grabbing the flag. We jump. Oops, I jumped at the wrong. Okay, there we go. We have the flag. Now, if we do have the flag, it simply means we have something. Okay, we have an ammo here, man. So we're able to actually shoot. We have got gun, and we can see we've got some bullets there now. So when we shoot, they get depleted. Anyways, just testing the gun. This is amazing. What else is there? We've got an ATM here. Can we shoot the ATM? Okay, we can. We only have 2 guns. Shit. So what is it saying? Enter your flag. Okay, let's go into this tunnel here. Join me in the next video as we start looking at level 2. See you soon.
This is the sock. Yeah, I'm feeling locked. Yeah, I run the city, Kembo, you don't want no fuck. This is the sock. We grafting for the quacha.